Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're jumping back into our game with Lemuria in Lord of the Flies. It is turn 76, and I'm trying to catch us up to where we were. If you recall the end of last episode, we had kind of been... we've had a few fights with Utguard. We had some success, we'd taken some forts, but we also had some losses, and we lost a couple armies. So... and as always, we are getting attacked by horrors every turn. In fact, this turn again, we see Slave to Unreason, which is the Astral 10 Doom Horror, and he may... Let's see if he will finally put an end to this Wraith Lord. Bunch of horror marks. This guy is getting all hosed up. Okay, and it appears he got him. So, yeah, that guy died. Let's see where he is. If he... Oh, he may be dead for good now. I don't know how he actually died in the real battle, but he does not seem to have respawned, which he normally does when he dies. So, yeah, we might... This might have been the time we lost him for good. Let's see if we can watch at the end and see how he dies. I think the battles are not synced since it's a different game version, so... But we'll see. Actually, you know, we can just look at the end and see what happens to him. Okay, they got him there. Theft of Reason. I'm not sure what happened. We'll hit F1, we'll see what happened to him. Dead. Is this the guy? So he cast Mind Roll, and then he did some damage. A very high damage roll. And this seems to have been what killed him. Maybe he will spawn back, but anyway, I think in the real... The thing is, he didn't respawn. And this guy normally has been spawning back every single turn, so he may be dead for good, I'm not sure. These Doom Horrors do have different things they can do, either charm or, you know, something else. You know, consume soul that can permanently kill immortals, so we may have lost our Mr. Wraithlord for good. It looks like he cast Summon Horror on top of Itimu, but Itimu, I don't think he's very scared of horrors. I think Itimu knows just what to do with them. Unfortunately, he is going to be... This is not an assassination, so my guy will continue to kind of stay on script. Stone Skin. He also has very, very high defense, so it's going to be very hard for the horror to hit him, even though this particular horror has reasonably high attack. Yeah, okay, we still kill him. So, I could potentially use Itimu to summon things, but eventually I think he would get caught in a horror death cycle, and I do not want that to happen. We found a site, Lake of Living Water. This is actually a kind of cool site in that it can spawn storyline events, which can result in getting an empowerment in water, and then also in getting water elementals, which is kind of cool. Temple of the All-Seeing Eye. I don't actually remember this. Okay, an Astral Mage may enter to scry, so that's kind of useful. We could use that. We're not going to do that right now. So that's kind of cool. We found some sites in that throne. Okay, we have a reasonably large-sized battle here with Lemuria. I mean, with Rlyehs. So he has kind of a medium to small force. We do not have any significant mage support. We just have these guys, so I think we're probably going to get wrecked. And indeed we do. Okay. So that's okay. That's just a small little raiding force. Down here, we again have a small raiding force, and they die. And then we have this small raiding force, which manages to kill a Lich. So let's see this battle. I think this is another Phoenix Power, or Phoenix Pyre combo. No, this guy is not. Okay, neither of these are. The problem is, these guys can wither bones and things like that, but they normally kind of rely on invulnerability to be thuggy. and they just don't have it. If you've noticed too, we're in a newer version of Dominions where it has the really cool animation for Soul Vortex, so I really like that. Okay, we can see Utguard broke out here with a reasonably large size army. I wonder which province that was. Okay, that was right here. And we moved off of this. We had a big fort on top. Now, it should have been we took that fight, because this was not actually a super hard battle to take. It was a fair number of dudes with very minimal mage support. Which, these are kind of the fights I want to take. I want to kill the mages, but I also want to kill his dude. So, if I had mage support here, I probably would have won this fight. But anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna go well, okay, we are gonna click through it. I'm sorry, I lied. Okay, he has another group here that we defeated, right? Though at some cost. Where was this? That was the Mercs. So that's right here, so that's kind of nice. You can see our Koktheoled, or however you say that. This is the person you get from Streams of Hades. So that's nice. We have... Okay, this is a huge battle. Let's watch this. The Cliff Coast. So I think this is our first real battle with Utguard. We have some decent mage support ourselves. We're not bringing a ton of mages. We're basically relying on our mages only to buff, not really to do evocations and things like that. We have about, this looks like about 500 troops, something like that. And then Utguard's got more. Utguard has probably like 600, but lower quality, except for the Gamherdings. I don't see a ton of mage support here, though. I don't see much at all. So, okay. We'll let this battle go. I'm going to zoom out here, because we've got a nice big battle, so we might as well see all of it. The Frost Fiends are firing off their shots, which don't really do anything. Frost Fiends are a pretty bad choice. The only thing good about Frost Fiends is they do have a magic attack. This Ice Rod is actually pretty effective at killing my dudes, but the Frost Blast is pretty worthless, so it's better to go ahead and have them fly in an attack rather than shoot these things off to no effect. Now, I think, yeah, we've got Invulnerability up. One of these guys cast Stygian Rains, which put Rains up as well. And then we have Darkness, so I'm going to scoot forward so we can still see. I might scoot down a little. Now, if you look at this with Darkness up, my guys are going to, like, wreck wolves. Wolves have bad stats to start with, and now they're going to get hit every single time, and they'll be basically incapable of attacking me. Their Soulless already have bad stats, but... Oh, that is really interesting. Do Soulless not have Dark Vision? Wow, look at that. 0-0. Very interesting. Soulless do not have Dark Vision. I did not know that. That is wild. Anyway, so these guys are going to get wrecked. His Frost Fiends jump in, and they may get one of my Grand Lemurs. We'll see. They're going to definitely be very, very capable of killing a Grand Lemur. Okay, they do kill that one. They may have gotten Rigor Mortis down with that, I think. He cast Doom. I did not script him to cast Doom, so it may have been he went off script and he had too many jumps. Okay, and then we're going to kill most of these guys. So basically we're just going to grind it out. And that's going to work. Here is his Mage Corps at the back. These are all slaves. I don't know who was the master, but hopefully we kill them before the battle ends, and it looks like we will. So that was a pretty important battle for us. And in fact, it didn't show me losing any Grand Lemurs, so that was probably just different RNG. We hardly lost anything, but we killed a ton. We killed 520 units, so this is about all you can ask for in terms of a good outcome for a battle. So that was really, really important for us. And the problem really here with Utguard in this battle was he did not bring nearly enough mage support. He brought a lot of chaff, but nothing to really do damage to ethereal dudes. So, yeah, that's kind of what happens. You have to bring a lot of mages and priests to a big battle with Lemuria. We have a big battle with Rlyehs. He just kind of clears off one of my provinces. We're going to watch this. The Forest of Gilead. So I had moved in Itimu. He was on top of their capital, and we moved him in to kind of have some fun down here. We can see his combat speed is up at, a very wholesome 178. And, yeah, that's compared to, like, combat speed of 10. So he moves 17 times a turn. So he's going to buff, and then he may even beat some of these troops up into combat. The glow sows are going to do trample, and that is not actually going to be terribly effective. And again, we can see he's got these frost demons, which did not do really much at all in terms of their ranged attack. You can see the javelins are being very effective against the glow sows. They're doing a lot of damage. And the nice thing about doing javelins is my guys aren't rushing into melee, so their trample isn't really doing that much. Trample will be affected by ethereal, but it's not very effective. Well, okay, it's affected by ethereal, so it's not very effective, but it does do AoE damage, which is going to still kind of hurt clumped up ghosts. So it would normally be an effective attack, except for ethereal, so it's only sort of effective. Still, it's not something we kind of are looking forward to. And we see Itimu is all up in here, and he is running forward, killing lots of stuff. Oh no, he looks to be a little trapped. Itimu, do not get trapped. Break out, my man. Get in with the mages. Okay, and he is getting all up in there. No, 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 no. Get in there. What are you doing, man? He's cracked out, Just running back and forth. Give me that crack. Give it to me. That's what he's saying. He's like an immortal crackhead, running around, getting everything. They did have damage reversal go up on the Communion, which is normally pretty damn effective. In this case, I have very high magic resistance, so damage reversal is not going to be effective against Itimu. And of course he kills some guys like at the very edge of combat before they can run off, because he moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So anyway, that was actually a really good battle for us too. So right now it looks like this war with Utguard is going in a very, very good way. And Utguard really is kind of fighting me wrong at this point. Like this again, it's a ton of dudes, not a ton of mages. He's bringing 7, but their scripting wasn't terribly impressive. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't enough mages. And this was, I think this was like an anti-raiding party. And this would have been enough if I probably didn't have any mage support myself, but I did have mage support. Like, this would be enough to efficiently kill just a raiding party with no mages. Okay, down here, we just moved on top of that fort. Here, we basically got flummoxed. We were trying to, actually, it's kind of worth watching. This is this province here. I was trying to catch the raiders, and I thought I would probably be able to kill them with just this, but no, I'm not. You're not going to kill Gamherdings with a bunch of these dispossessed spirits. Yeah, especially with the vampire behind him. So that is how that went. Where was that? I think that was this one, yeah. Down here, we've got we killed some raiders, and then I think, okay, he does kill me here too. This is basically his second little raiding force that was running around on top of my forts. So that is unfortunate. Was that this one? No, that was this one. Was it? Okay, I'm getting a little bent around backwards. That was this one. Okay. And then I think we're about done. Needful Giant attacks. Okay, and so then for random events, there we go. Let's zoom out. So basically what we see is these two raiders are coming through, and they're kind of causing problems. He was basically just pinging me here with scouts, or maybe I caught those who were patrolling. But this is a bit annoying. He's kind of clearing out my PD, which cost me a little bit of money. And I think I put probably more PD in than I should have. I put like 10 or whatever because I had a glut of gold. Really, with Lemuria, you only need 1. If you take a good bless, actually, and this is something you won't have seen in my playthrough because I don't really have a good bless, This guy actually is kind of a little thug, because he does have life drain. If you give him something like Awe, or if he has decent armor, something like that, he actually can thug decently well. So anyway, that's something to kind of think about in your bless, is if you take 1 PD, this guy can actually be pretty damn good with a decent bless. Okay, what else? So we moved here. I think he has a ton of dudes in here, and you can see he's just got these enormous stacks that are floating around. He's got an enormous one here, an enormous one here. We don't really want to fight these, but this is enough to probably 1-turn pop my fort, even though I have a bunch of guys inside of it. So, yeah. Rlyeh we can see moved from here to here, so it does look like he's moving up to try to take his cap back, which is understandable. We won a big battle here, and you can see finally I was smart and switched this ancient casket from this guy all the way up here. So that's good at least. We're going to continue to siege. This may be a bad call, because he can move in a big army from here, and this is not a big enough army to kind of kill a big army from here. So we'll see. And then Itimu, while he seems really badass, it really just takes 1 or 2 wither bones or dust to dust to kill him. So yeah, this is pretty risky. Not maybe a great idea, but anyway, that's what we're doing. This, I was kind of hoping we popped it this turn, but it looks like it has a little left, so we're going to have to sit here on top of it. I wish I had brought a little more in. You know, I've got about 440 in terms of siege strength, and this has 500, so I probably should have figured out some way to bring another, like, 100 or 200 troops in. 1 turn popping it would have been really nice. Either way, we're going to sit here, same script you've seen before. The only difference here, I've got this guy coming in. He's going to be doing Power of the Spheres and Stygian Reigns, so that will be helpful. This group here, we've basically got Power of the Spheres, Darkness, Wailing Winds, basically a big fatigue play with Grip of Winter, Quagmire, Wailing Winds. Same thing as before, but you can see we're getting up all the important buffs for this battle. There's really 2 ways to play Lemuria. Okay, there's a few ways. One of them is you rely heavily on your Grand Lemurs as casters, and you'll have them in the back casting and doing all sorts of evocations and skelly spam and things like that, while you have Rigor Mortis up and stuff like that. The other way to play is you use them primarily as buffers, where you have big hordes that you buff. I find the second way is a bit more effective, because you kind of get more bang for your buck out of each one. But if you play in the second way, you're going to tend to spread your Grand Lemurs out, you're going to have many threats on the board. But those threats will never be as strong as like 1 army with 10 or 20 Grand Lemurs in it. And that may be what I need to do, like roll up a big, huge, nasty army of 20 Grand Lemurs onto his cap. That would be kind of interesting to do. I don't really have the means to do that at the moment. We are going to be doing Living Castle here, and I'm going to be putting up a temple, so hopefully that works. Where's the... Okay. No, are we not doing it yet? Where's my... Oh, I guess we're not. I guess we're just putting a temple up? Huh. Well, either way, this guy's preaching. Unfortunately, though, he's probably dead because we did have an assassination here. Yeah, okay, and they already killed 1 bishop fish, and this guy's going to follow after him. So, while these bishop fish are very nice, they were kind of expensive investments, they are going to die because they got killed by assassins. And this guy's as good as dead. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we could do that to try to... But he's dead. There's nothing that Shade Beast is going to do to save him. And so this is Rlyeh has a little force on top of here. Now, what's interesting is you'll note this fort is almost broken, and the reason is because I cast Wizard's Tower this turn, so it put the fort up. There's a weird mechanic with Wizard Tower. It happens magic phase, right? But then, basically when the fort gets spawned, it gets spawned with 0 wall integrity. And because these guys weren't patrolling, and he basically had a dude move in, this guy was going to move in and only fight PD. And that's because nobody was patrolling this province, etc. And what that then means is that during the normal move phase, this fort gets put under siege, And all my guys are inside. So these guys actually inside, they are repairing the fort wall. So it started at 0 this turn, and it went up to 112. So you kind of, if you can, you want to cast Wizard Tower on a province that's not contested, and that way it will start off at 1,000 wall integrity instead of 0, because now I don't have to like build it back up or kick them out. So we'll see. It's a little risky. Rlyeh could potentially like steal this fort from me. We have some dudes here. We're gonna patrol with these Grand Lemurs and hopefully kick the assassin out, because we do not want this assassin here, not a little bit. We also have a weird thing where I did cast Wizard Tower even though I have a fort under construction, which is kind of weird. I think we're patrolling here with this guy. And yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. I do want to build a Wizard Tower here. I don't know if I'm casting it this turn. I might. Yeah, 97, is that this one? Yeah. So we're casting a Wizard Tower here. I really should have these guys patrol, because if he moves into here, basically he'll just fight my PD, he'll put it under siege and take it. So, but the danger is that if I patrol and these guys die, then I'm not really going to have any resources to defend it. So it's a bit of a catch-22. But anyway. So there's a bit of a weird... There's some things I have to deal with. One, this army here, I don't want to fight Rlyeh. I would rather Utguard fight them. I think it's likely either Utguard has a huge force in here that's going to break out, because I didn't crack this fort yet. There's a ton of guys inside. So he's either going to break out here with a ton of guys, and I don't really want to fight them. There's a chance Rlyeh moves up here. We're not coordinating. So Rlyeh could move up to kill this army. I find that unlikely, but if it did happen, I would rather him kind of kill Utguard than me. And while I do have a fair amount of mage support, I don't think I have the mage support to fight everything that's in here. I think there's some nasty stuff in here. So we're going to get the hell out of there. And basically we're going to pull these guys back and try to take these 2 forts. That's kind of the little mini objective here. But this is kind of just a feint. Now, in other news, there's a big group here. If they come in and siege me here, I'm going to be in a big amount of trouble. So... yeah, we're a little under the 8 ball here if he moves this group out, but I think he wants to keep this protected from Rlyeh. So I'm not totally sure what he's going to do with this group, but that group scares the shit out of me. The other thing we have to think about is Ryleh's probably going to move here to the throne and then probably going to move here or here. He probably wants to get to his cap. I'm almost sure that's what this army's going to go do. So we need to start thinking about how we're going to defend, you know, these provinces as he moves in. So I'm probably need to start moving some of these guys. Not this turn, but probably next turn. I need to go and like forward position them out here so they can come defend based on where we think Ryleh's going to move. In terms of gems, you notice we have a ton of air gems built up. I haven't really spent them. I'm probably going to alchemize them. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do. But the global situation, we've got Illwinter up. We've got Well of Misery, which I have. We have Eyes of the God, which I don't know how much longer that will stay up, but none of these are like, okay, my globals are not necessarily game-winning. Well of Misery is really good, and in some ways you could consider it game-winning on Lemuria. But it's more like a strong assist. I need to think about what... I could get Arcane Nexus up, potentially, though I don't want to cast it with my Pretender, because she's in a horror death spiral right now. So I need to figure out what I want my next big global to be. Yeah, so anyway. I think that is about it for this turn. We are going to make a play here, right? So we'll see if there's a big battle. We don't really have any big battles on this front. I am a little worried about his super combatants coming out. Our main objective actually is down here. So really taking some forts down here is going to go a long way to further establishing our claim on this world. And then ideally we take this and this. So these are kind of actually our battlefronts. Here is one, here is one. If we have a battle here, I've got Stygian Reigns coming up. That's really good on these guys. Anti-magic. Skeletal Legion is actually pretty good too. I don't have enough gems for it though, unfortunately. And then we've got Darkness, Wailing Winds, Power of Spheres, Grip of Winter, Quagmire, a bunch of good stuff. So hopefully all that works. Here we have lesser things coming out, just Darkness, Rain of Stones, and Stygian Rains. I think Stygian Rains actually helps against Rain of Stones. That was kind of my thinking. I haven't actually tested that, so we'll see if it actually works. But yeah, I think that's it. So it's already pretty far into this episode, so we'll probably call it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.